Hey there, this is the recap video for the date night couples time massage workshop on receiving gifts. I'm here with my girl Christy. She's my model for today. And for those who attended the workshop, remember that we began with some work to release the hips and low back, especially around the sacroiliac joint. The theme is receiving gifts, so we're really trying to focus on being receptive. When you're the one who's working on your partner, try to listen with your hands. And of course, when you're the one receiving touch, notice if there are any barriers or holding patterns in your own body that are rigid, and see if you, inside, can let those barriers go. So we started out face up and came down to the feet. Squatted down in between the ankles, grabbed under the outer sides of the ankles and stood up. Walk forward, pull the heels up, grab the back of the ankles and lean back to traction. You can sway a little side to side, inviting some space into the low back, backs of the legs. And now walk forward, lift the heels, and push one at a time one of your knees, each of your knees, into the back of your partner's knees, and guide soles of their feet down to your kneecap. So we're in an assisted squat here. Gently push knees toward the armpits or shoulders. You can remove hands or keep hands on your partner's feet. So we're starting here. If there's a lot of restriction here, your partner feels pinchiness in the front of their hips, then just stop there and be moderate. But if this is pretty open, then you can transition into happy baby. So partner receiving, bring your arms up. Partner giving, grab the backs of the heels and bring heels to stack over the knees. You can step outside the thighs, bring palms to the soles of the feet, and then sink down. So remember, we're not just pushing with our arms. I'm sinking down into my own hips. Is that okay? And if that is accessible, you can step in between the legs, feet beside your partner's armpits. From here, you can also sink down into happy baby, pushing onto the feet as you sink down into your hips. You can invite your partner into diamond pose. Soles of the feet come together, and then press your knees forward as you guide your partner's big toes toward the forehead. Just a little bit at a time. Move in repetitions. Don't just push into depth and hold there. 3 to 5 times, and then open the feet up. Exit how you entered, 1 foot at a time. We're going to pull the feet up and then walk back so the legs don't snap straight. Sway the legs down, and now we moved on to the arms. Arm out to the side like a half T, palm level with the shoulder. Kneel facing the inner arm. One hand to the inner shoulder, one hand to the palm, rise up. And now palm walk in toward the elbow, but not on the elbow. And then back out. From here, back in toward the elbow, and then down to the hand. And feather off. Next, stand up so you can use your feet. Plant the foot that's closer to your partner. Heel comes down. Transfer the weight into the ball of your foot onto your partner's palm. Do that a few times. You can step on the fingers. Don't forget the thumb. Back in. Notice how my standing leg is strong. And I totally move the foot. I'm not sliding it across my partner's arm. Heel down, and then I transfer the weight forward into the ball of the foot. Switch feet at the elbow, skip over the elbow bones. Heel down, transfer weight forward into the inner arm. and then trace back down. It's like you're making footprints on your partner's inner arm. Switch feet at the elbow, heel down, transfer weight forward. Make sure your stance is solid before you go transferring your weight. Next, we're going to compress at the shoulder and do some internal and external rotation at the shoulder and arm. So a hand that's closer to your partner's torso compresses at the pec. So right here, covering the ball of the ball and socket joint. Other hand grabs the wrist. Initiate a bend in the elbow, hand stacks over the elbow. And you can either do this from a kneeling position, or I'll often come into this kneeling lunge. Guide back of the hand forward and down, so she's in like a cactus arm formation right now. And now, through center, palm toward the mat. Be gentle here. Usually people are more restricted in this internal rotation. I'm maintaining pressure at the pec and at the shoulder. With each repetition, the body usually allows for a little more depth. So have a gentle attitude here. No need to push, no need to force. It feels kind of threatening, it feels kind of foreign, so be patient with yourself when you're receiving this. 3 to 5 repetitions. There we go. I almost got palm to the mat. And now release the arm down by the side. Now with your partner's arm down by their side, we're going to work on the outer line of the arm. Make sure the fingers are flat and compress one hand at a time. I'm going to bring it out to the side a little so you can see. You can let the fingers be as they are for this warm-up portion. And then you can hold the hand flat and use the other hand to compress the outer line of the arm. If it's okay for your partner, if it's okay for your partner, then you can use more pressure at the forearm. And here I can use a closed knee, okay? So my knee that's closer to her hand, I'm gonna make sure it's closed tightly, and I don't use the kneecap, just below the kneecap, this soft part of the patellar tendon. I'm gonna keep my hips back toward my heels at first and make contact just below the bone of the elbow. And gently lean my head forward. Pressure in the arm so you can lift the knee and just move down. It's like you're making knee prints on the forearm. And if you want more pressure, then you can lift the hips forward. All the way down to the wrist, and then remove, little jostle to the arm, and feather off. Lastly, we brought our partner to a seated position so we can do a little bit more work on the shoulder and arm. From here, I'm going to bring one knee down next to my partner and the other foot plants behind her. So you can kind of see my foot's planted here, but my inner knee is pressed against her back as a fulcrum. From here, palm under the elbow, lift the arm up. Other hand grabs the hand, turns it back, bends the elbow like she's going to touch her shoulder blade on the same side. From here, push the elbow back. My knee to her back stays firm. Second hand that's grabbing the wrist gently pulls down toward her mid-back. So we're really opening through a few pulsations. We're opening through the side body, through the lats, and through the triceps. Ooh. This is what I am. That's your tough shoulder. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're going to open up and switch the kneeling position. So, other knee comes down, other foot plants, her shoulder and arm drape over my knee. If her shoulder is up like this, then simply scoot your foot forward until their shoulder can be pretty level. From here, I'm going to use my outer arm, so not this one yet, the arm that's lined up with her her arm that's draped over my knee. And compress here next to the neck, at the upper trap, levator scapula, all these muscles that overlap. If you are shorter than your partner and you can't get up, then tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and drop the heel in, kind of like a warrior one stance, so you can get your weight more over your point of contact, which is not your pointy part of your elbow. It's the forearm part that's close to the elbow, okay? We can even invite the head to the other side, interlacing fingers, opening the side of the neck, kind of like opening through the forearms here as we compress down at the shoulder. Okay. And that's how we ended. Thanks for watching. Enjoy practicing with your partner, and we'll see you next time.